Hey, what's going on, everybody? TaylorMade Hoops coming to you live and direct once again at South Oak Cliff High School in Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff, Texas, to be exact. Hey, great interview today. Hey, the first interview went so well with this legend right here that I'm speaking of. No other than Coach James Mays, retired athletic director and head boys basketball coach here. We did part one of the interview, man, where we touched on a few things. But hey, now we come back for part two because on Thursday I had to put him on the hot seat like I should have, man. So this time we're gonna put him on the hot.
It's on the day, huh?
It's on the day. Hey, it's like they say. Hey, sometimes we meet people be real nice. To bait him in. See, I bait him in. He our friends now. He my friend. I said now I'm about to get him. But seriously, great interview the first time. We're gonna come back for part two. Once again, for the viewers, anybody who's been laid up under a rock the last 30 years, let me go ahead and tell you who I'm having the great pleasure of speaking with today, give him his background once again. Like I said, Coach James Mays, retired athletic director and former head boys basketball coach at South Oak Cliff High School. He was the head coach from 1999 to 2025, amassing a record of 634 wins and only 226 losses. Four consecutive state championship victories, 5 trips to the state tournament, 9 regional tournament appearances, countless coaching accolades, coached numerous professional and collegiate players, what we're about to get to. And also, he was 13 years, he proudly says that he was 13 years as the athletic director also here at South Oak Cliff High School. Like I said, no other than Coach Mays. How you doing, Coach?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Ed?
Man, I can't complain, man.
Good day today. Good day today.
Hey, always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
Before we start, I'm loving your shirt.
Hey, make sure we get this on camera, man. I might have to stand up, man. Make sure we get those on camera. See, most folks don't understand the history behind this, and seriously, man, just like the other day when I went on and made a video, giving guys that influenced me, especially TaylorMade Hoops that rose, as Coach Mays was definitely one of them, being Coach Bishop. He just don't understand, really gave him helped give him my start because this is by Coach Mays, Maria Fast, 2011, they had a riff in the district, ended up getting caught up in it, getting laid off, what have you. So I still wanted to remain around the game, what have you, in some way. And so, matter of fact, I remember it was during the season, Coach Mays, they were playing somebody, whatever, and we were just talking, what have you, and Coach Mays told me he needed a scout report or whatever. So I said, man, Coach, I'll go scout the team for you, whatever. So started doing scout reports, Coach Mays, and also Coach Bishop. Everybody know Coach Bishop, give him his props, 40-0, Chris Bosch, Lincoln High School, South Dallas stand up. He also entrusted me to do scout reports for him. So that's kind of how TaylorMade Hoops started back in 2011. Just give you a little bit of background on that, and it was because of Coach Mays entrusted me. And I felt honored, a coach that's at his level entrusted me, to go do scouting reports for him, man. So that's how it came about. And this shirt, we go way back, Coach, which is about 2008, 9?
Yeah, about 9, 10. That's when Darrell made it to the league. And we was doing camps for Darrell.
Yeah. So this is what the shirt means.
He was doing camps along with his mom, Sandra Arthur.
Oh, yeah. Hey, people don't understand, man, that, hey, great times, man, with Darrell, Mama Darrell, rest in peace, Jazz, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God.
Shout out Jazz Hartwell.
Yeah, man.
Big part of what we did.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Big part.
So that's what this is about, man. We always give you history here on TaylorMade Hoops, man. Let's go ahead, man, and let you know today's going to be a little bit different. Tell you the objectives and points of conversation for the viewers tuning in. Today we'll be talking about the great teams and players that Coach Mays coached here at South Oak Cliff High School. And we'll be talking about a little bit more about his career and journey. And we'll talk about his opinions and perspective on grassroots basketball, how things are going with that. All right, Coach, hey. The pressure's on, baby. First question, Coach. Let me ask this. I know, like you said, you won 4 state championships, Coach. Went back to back. Had a lot of great players. I remember me and you have a conversation one time at AAU event about this, man. Not gonna say who was talking about, but you say you gotta win. You say you get the players, you gotta win.
You gotta win. You gotta win. If you had the horses, you gotta win.
So with that being said, Coach, how much pressure is there to win a state championship when you have great players, Coach? How much pressure is it?
First of all, you just got to define pressure.
Okay.
And where it's coming from. First of all, you have external pressure. Obviously, the fans, the school, the community. They have the expectation, and it's always going to be that way on every level: high school, collegiate, pro. And so there are expectations. So you have an external pressure. But then also on the flip side, you have an internal pressure. That's the expectations that you have for yourself, for your group, for your team. And so the external pressure didn't bother me as much because I knew that was a given. That was a variable. You're going to have to deal with that. But the internal pressure, which I think is a positive pressure that we have for ourselves, expectations starting with me.
Okay.
Then it goes to the coaches, then it goes to the players. But expectations that we have for ourselves. So we welcome the so-called pressure, and we expected it. Some groups, like I said, we came in and we just knew 05, we knew we were going to win a state championship.
Okay.
So it wasn't no pressure. You know, it was just a matter of time and what we had to do on a daily basis, preparation, getting the kids ready, men in right mental state of mind, and cutting down the distractions, which is the big thing dealing with teams and coaches. You got to cut down the distractions off court. Distractions, you know, and I won't go into detail on what those distractions look like because they come in all forms.
Yes, sir.
So, but cut the distractions down. But we had that type of pressure, which was good. And so, so the expectations, and they need to be there, especially when you at a historical program, you know, anywhere, you know, not just us, but anywhere, people have expectations, and the coaches, parents and players, they have expectations as well.
Oh yeah, and Coach, you brought up a very, very good point, man. It doesn't matter what level you on, what have you. It just matters what culture you're in, what environment you're in, what program you're in. Just like you say, it's gonna be pressure, like you say, with John Shaw at Duke, because it's Duke.
Right.
You know, this South Oak Cliff, so you follow behind legend.
Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Mavericks right now.
Yeah.
You know, the expectations, you know, so it's a somewhat of a pressure, but you know, you got to manage that.
There you go. Well, hey, for the viewers tuning in, man, I have no other than the legend, Coach James Mays, retired athletic director and head boys basketball coach at South Oak Cliff High School. We're just talking a little bit about the great teams he coached. I had moved a little too fast, man. For the viewers to tune in, we're not gonna tell them everything because we want them to go watch the video, of course, Coach. But a recap. Last time we talked, man, me and Coach Mays, we talked a little bit about his background, you know, his coaching journey a little bit. You know, most people didn't know. A lot of people know. You know, he's from Dallas. What have you? Went to Prairie View. I was teasing about the 6-year plan, whatever. So we talked about that on the first interview, and we also went on to talk about, you know, his involvement as far as the band, him being in the band. Right. Most people didn't know that he was in the band. So just touch on a few highlights of the last interview. We went on, Coach Mays, you know, he gave us, you know, what a lot of people know, how he got the job. You know, how he got the job at South Oak Cliff, what have you. So most definitely want to take a look at the video, man. Got some great things in there. Coach gave us some advice for the young coaches and things of that sort. So just want people to know also, you know, about the last interview, right, how insightful it was, Coach. But we talked today, man. I got him in the chokehold today, man. Coach Mays. So, Coach, like you were saying, get back on track. Pressure, like you say, it's all people understand. It's all what you define as pressure. You say, you know, a lot of times people understand that it's a mind state, Coach. And if you put too much pressure on yourself, sometimes, you know, it's not good.
No,
you got to know yourself.
Right.
You got to know yourself,
right.
Coach.
Right.
So, Coach, let me ask this, Coach. Coach, give us your 3 best teams that you coached at South Oak Cliff. Had a lot of great teams, but your 3 best teams that you coached at South Oak Cliff High School as the head coach that didn't win state for whatever reason. You know, when you had them squads, like I said, sometimes 05 squad come in, but y'all actually won. So tell me about those squads that you and your coaching staff, y'all felt that, hey, man, we got a great chance of winning, man. You know, whatever the case may be, but for whatever reason, they kind of fell short, Coach.
Right. Well, I picked 3, 2 solid ones. One, you know, is close, but we felt it was a pretty good team. But so we make it to state my first time in 2003.
Okay, cool.
All right. Quick story about that. This is how we make it a story. This is how we make the state in 2003. So 2003, during the area round, they had a big snowstorm. Ice, and the city was pretty much, it was on lock. And so what the deal was, we were scheduled to play the Friday game. Okay. So we played the Friday game. And so we make it to the 3rd round, which is Tuesday's game. Okay.
Okay.
And so if we went Tuesday game, then we got to go to the regionals, which was at SMU, and you got to play back to back. So you got to play Friday and Saturday. And so what the deal was, the snowstorm hit that weekend. So they canceled everything, all games and everything on that Tuesday. So they pushed the game back to Wednesday. We get to Wednesday, we still can't play. The roads are solid, they're frozen over, so we can't play then. So now the game is pushed back to Thursday. And so whoever wins this Thursday game have to go into the regionals and play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Wow, coach.
Right. So it's serious. So Thursday, we get there. The opponent is Lincoln.
Okay.
We have to play the Lincoln team. And so we get there, we play the Lincoln team, they had Byron.
Okay.
So we had to play the Lincoln team. And so we won.
Okay.
Thursday. So we play Friday. It's a quick turnaround. At first game of regionals, we play Lancaster. It gets deeper than this. Okay. So we win a tough game against Lancaster.
Okay.
And then we get to Saturday. Guess who waiting?
I'm trying to think of the time. Who was your time? Sock, Lincoln.
Well, let me go and help you.
Go ahead.
Kimball. So Kimball is waiting Saturday. And it's not a late game. So we play the late game Thursday, 7:00 game. We play the late game Friday, first game at region, which is 7:00.
Okay.
And then we have to turn right back around and play at 1:00 on Saturday.
Oh man.
Kids are wore out. Wore out. Now keep in mind they're on the same schedule too. All teams still playing. They're on the same schedule too.
Okay.
So we limping the Saturday. I mean, we on fumes. And then we play Kimball. That's the Kimball team had AC Law.
Okay.
AC Law, bad boy.
Right, people.
Bad
AC
boy.
Law, boy. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I went on to A&M and then went on to the league, Golden State and all that kind of stuff. But AC Law, shout out to AC Law. AC Law is real dude. Snoop, he was real deal. And so AC Law that Saturday, he was AC Law.
He brought the law.
He brought the law. He went left hand everything. And we doubling, scrambling, everything. We just trying to get you AC Law. We trying to contain it. But I had a kid that day, had the game of his life, and that was Chris Wells. Chris Wells,
remember him?
Finished with 30. He's a shooting guard,
I remember him.
and he was an undersized shooting guard. Chris probably 5'9", 5'10", but he was tough and he was quick. He was like a combo guard. He could play the point and he could play the two. Chris had the game of his life. Chris hit about 8 3-pointers. 8-3 just went off, and he had 30, and we ended up beating Kimball in double overtime in the regional finals. That's the first time that we make it to state. All right, so we make it to state, and we're fairly young. That's the team that had David Fisher on it.
Yeah.
All right, Big Dave. Shout out David Fisher.
Sure.
So David is on that team. Lil Ed is on that team.
Okay.
Lindy Holmes they're on that team.
Yeah.
That team is pretty good. Jeremiah Daniels, he's on that team. Daniel Polk is on that team. Daniel Polk went on later on. He was a football, basketball player. He went on to play at Midwestern State, and then he actually played professional football, got a tryout even with the Cowboys quarterback. And so he was bad. All in was on that team.
Yeah.
And so we make the state, and then unfortunately we lose in the first semifinal games to Dunbar's waiting.
Oh, okay. Now, who's on that Dunbar squad?
Chris Jeremis.
Jeremis, Big Jeremis.
Yeah, Chris Jackson.
Chris. Oh, I remember Chris on high jump.
Yeah. Jump out the gym.
What did you say before the game? Be over there parade. Come on to get about 40.
And they ended up winning state that year. But they were the number one team in the state. So that was that run, and we had to play them Thursday. So we come from Saturday, and we had to play them Thursday. And we couldn't hardly practice. I couldn't hardly practice because 3 games back to back of that intensity, that magnitude, kids don't have it. So you got to be real careful on the practice schedule, how much. And I wanted them to have at least most of their legs come Thursday. And so we had to be very careful of that. But they got up on us 10 in the first quarter. I remember, like, it's funny how you remember these things, but they got up on us in 10 in the first quarter. We made adjustments, and played them even the rest of the game, and they end up beating us by that same 10. That same 10, but we just didn't have enough. So that was the first year we made it to state.
Okay.
In 03, my first trip to state with a team. And so, and keep in mind, the year before we had lost in the regional finals to that Lincoln, that 40-0 Lincoln team with Chris Bosh and Byron Hopkins. Now we lost in Kevin Ship. Now shout out Kevin. And so we lost to that team in the regional finals. And they beat us by 40 in the regional finals at SMU. And so, you know, we were still young. We had some players, a lot of players coming back, but that was probably the best high school team I had ever seen. You know, especially up close and personal. I got to play them up close and personal. They were on another level. And so, and like I said, the two best teams in Region 2 was left to play the regional finals. They beat us by 40.
That's crazy, Coach.
Two best teams, and they went on to win. And so the next year, we stacked again. We coming back, and then of course we make the state tournament. We lose to Dunbar. So we had Lincoln, Lancaster, Kimball, Dunbar, back to back. And but we lose that season, so we come back with high expectations. We get a lot of kids back. Ed Robinson is back. I got my combo 2 guard, really. Ed is a combo guard. I had Lindy Holmes at the point. And so we had kids coming back, and that's when Darrell and Kevin Darrell was a sophomore.
Okay.
Darrell was a sophomore. He made that state tournament team in 03 as a freshman. We had him on the freshman day. So that next year, then we have Kevin back. We have Jarrell Hastings back. All right. We have Ed. We have Lindy Holmes. And so we was pretty stacked again. So talking about expectations again. We expected to be there.
Yeah.
And then we had a pretty decent season. We had to deal with a lot of, be honest, off the court distractions and stuff like that. It kind of got the best of us right there. So, what ended up happening, we get to the area, the third round of playoffs. We have to play Seagoville with LaMarcus Aldridge.
This one had LaMarcus and Ryan Boyd and what's the ball? Sloan, down Sloan.
Yeah. So
Derek Rowland.
Yeah. So that was that team.
Coach.
Yeah. So it was stacked, and they beat us in that area round to go to regionals.
Okay.
And so they beat us there, and like I said again, but we should have won the game.
Okay.
The whistle got funny.
Okay.
Whistle got funny. Whistle got funny.
Hey, but we're going to give a shout out to my boy, Coach Allen, man. That's my guy, man. Coach Allen going to have him playing hard.
Coach Allen ain't going to do nothing else. He going to have them boys playing hard.
They're going to play
hard. But we was up to the task.
Okay, Coach.
And like I say, it's a good game. They ended up beating like 1 or 2.
Okay.
You know, Marcus, they let Marcus have about 8 fouls. They let everybody.
LaMarcus, those fans were over there, Coach.
They did not want to foul him out. They wasn't going to foul him out. Yeah. And like I said again, everybody 8 fouls, maybe 10. but we lose them by 1 or 2 points, and they went on. They lose to Lincoln at in the regionals, and Byron them went on down to play Jones. That was Houston Jones.
That's when they lost to Jones.
Yeah, they lost to Jones. Daniel Gibson.
Daniel Gibson.
Yeah. Daniel Gibson had. But like I said, we should have been. I felt like we should have won. Yeah, we should have won state championship. And in fact, if that would have been the case, we would have went to state 6 years in a row. If things after that stayed the same, we'd have 6 years in a row. So 03. 04, I feel we should have made it.
Then when y'all started.
Yeah, then we went on that streak.
Yeah.
So who came back off that team, that 05 team? Darrell was a junior now.
Okay.
Kevin Rogers is a senior.
Okay.
Jarrell Hastings is a senior.
Okay.
Then I get my point guard, Lil Fred Gibson. I moved him up. He was a freshman the year before. And then when he became a sophomore, I moved him up and started him.
Okay.
You know, so he's a sophomore starting point guard on that team. And then like I said, the rest is history from there. But that 04 team, that I just want to tell all the background of that. So you got to get that.
Yeah.
The next team that should have made it was the 2015 team. That's the team with C.J. Massenberg, J.F. Thomas, Frank Byers, Orlando King, James Harrison, and Keedron Johnson was a sophomore on that team. So Keedy was a team. He was out on that team. So we had some great players and some other guys, but that starting 6 or 7 that were real solid.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we should have made that. When we get to that area round again, we go 3 rounds deep.
Okay.
Lancaster is waiting.
Okay.
All right, Lancaster, that's the team that had Big Eli.
Oh, Big Elijah. Yes, sir.
Eli, Big Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they had Dion had came over from Skyline.
Oh, that's when they had Lil Dion. Oh,
Yeah,
they was
yeah,
they were on the back to back.
And they had got Antoine from DeSoto.
Uh-huh.
He better have when they got those. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Doug. Doug's my guy, boy.
Yes, sir.
But like I said again, and we was stacked coming. Everybody knew we was stacked coming back.
So he knew he had
you got to load up. You need some help.
People don't realize that's how it was back in the day.
You got to load up. You better need some help.
You better get some help.
And so we ended up losing to them, and they needed every last one of them because that was a hell of a game. They ended up beating us by 2, maybe 3 points right there at the end.
Oh yeah.
We had a good look at the end. Could have tied it or won it, but CJ had a good look. But it didn't go down. But that and the thing about it, across the state, we was all top ranked the whole year. 1 and 2 in the state. We up there. So basically, whoever win this game,
you'll probably go win the state.
Go on and win state.
Nobody gonna beat neither one of y'all.
No. Neither one of those teams. And Doug went on and took care of their business. They did a hell of a job. They went and took care of their business, won a state championship. Mm-hmm. But that one, that was close. All right, and then the last team, I often wonder what it would have been like. We had a good team a couple of years ago in 23, and we were pretty good. That was Keith Rich. Excuse me. That was Jaden Miller, that Jalen Miller team. Mm-hmm. Dazon Harris was on that team. That was my shooting guard, and Barack Jones. They were young then, but we were good. We lost a very important piece of that team in a good way. He Trey Jackson. Yeah. Trey Jackson. He was also a football player. Big standout.
Trey, man.
Yeah, receiver tight end. Receiver tight end. Great kid. He was great on and off the court.
Yeah, coach. Seriously, coach.
And he decided to go early. Not full time. He decided because he decided to go early, graduate early, and go on to Texas Tech. And that's when the UIL was first. NIL was first jumping off. And so I understood. He went early and took care of his business and stuff like that. But I feel like
that was a big piece, coach.
If we had Trey, because see, that was our 5 guy, and Trey was a bucket.
Oh yeah,
Trey was we need a bucket, throw it in the Trey.
He'll get fouled on scope.
And he'll defend.
What?
And he would defend that paint. He would throw that stuff out of there.
Yes, sir, coach.
And so that was a big piece. And we end up losing in the 3rd round to a Lone Star.
Okay.
And I feel like we really, if we would we was leading by 10 going into the 4th quarter. But we didn't have an inside presence. Yeah. We didn't have an inside presence to throw it into to get us a bucket right there. And also to defend the rim too, because they started attacking us on the inside a little bit. But I feel like if we get past that area round, then we get to regionals, I think we will be okay. Because we had some guys with some experience, and they could have handled that situation a little bit better. But we were wore down. Guards was wore down.
They had to do so much.
Yeah. Especially our little point guard, our leader, Jaden Miller.
Yeah, I remember Jay.
Yeah, little Jay. We rode Jay like a rented donkey. But we had to. Yeah, that's what we had. But if we had an inside presence, Jay wouldn't have to work so hard. We just throw it down the tray, and get us a bucket. But those are the 3 teams that almost could have, should have, would have.
3 hell of teams too, coach.
Yeah, they were great.
The last one, like you say, not a bad thing, coach. Like this. Shout out to Coach Mays for not being, as a coach, sometimes not putting nobody on blast, but sometimes as coaches we're selfish. He could have easily, because he had a good relationship with Trey, and I'm pretty sure Trey, his dad came and asked him, advised him, and then he could have easily been like, oh man, why don't you stay here so he can play basketball, help him out. But Coach Mays looked at the bigger picture, and it's all about giving the kids the best opportunity possible. We know Trey gonna be a pro in football, so go ahead.
No, most definitely.
No, he gonna play on Sundays. Yeah, so definitely. Go ahead and
And like I said, the families at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for them. So we understood that, that sometimes got to come first. So shout out to Trey. Good luck, Trey. When you make the league, I need tickets.
Hey, man, as you can tell, man, on this beautiful, beautiful day, man, like Coach Mays said before we started, man, a beautiful day God bless us with, man. I'm sitting here chopping up with a good friend, Coach James Mays, retired athletic director and head boys basketball coach at South Oak Cliff High School. We just talked about some of the great teams he has had, and how much pressure it may be to win a state championship when you have players. So, Coach, the next question, Coach, I'm going to ask you, Coach, Who are some of the great players that you coach that play collegiately or professionally? You know about Darrell Arthur and C.J. Massenberg, but who's some of the ones that play collegially or who are playing professionally or still playing, Coach?
Collegially and professional, K-Rod, he did Baylor, overseas. Darrell, of course, drafted by Memphis with the 27th pick. Went to Kansas also. Won a national championship.
It was MOP, most valuable player of the game.
Yeah. So great. Sylvester Spicer, he was on that 05 team with Shade and Kevin there. That was Sylvester could have started anywhere in the state of Texas. And fortunately, he had Kevin Rogers and Darrell Arthur playing it, and he came. But that was the most serious 6-man post that we've ever had. And he went on and played at Oral Roberts, and he played professional overseas. Bobo Morgan,
yes sir.
Bobo signed with UCLA. Ended his career at Baylor. He played overseas, played a lot of professional ball overseas.
Coaching now.
Most definitely.
Coaching now. Give it back to the kids. Coaching now. Shout out to Bobo.
Most definitely over at Pinkston doing a hell of a job. Kenneth Hall, he did a good job. Played at Western Carolina, and he played overseas a little bit. And so James Harrison. James Harrison on that 2015 team post. James played. He played overseas. He played East Carolina, I believe. And then he went overseas and in fact, he's still over there making money. All right, C.J. Massenberg signed with University of Buffalo. Went to Buffalo, became the all-time leading scorer for the University of Buffalo.
Say it again, Coach.
Yeah, for the all-time leading scorer for the University of Buffalo.
Coach, can you tell a story about that? So inspired these youngsters that how he was really a diamond in the rough. Unranked, really had some offers, but no Division I offers.
Right.
Buffalo kind of came along.
Right, and so quick story. So he had some great summers, played AAU teams, and then we get to the end of the season in 2015. We lose to Langston at regional quarterfinal game. We still didn't have the offers, not the offers. So we get on the phone, we calling around, and I'm calling D1 AA coaches, D1 coaches, and trying to get him looks because he didn't get the looks that he needed, especially coming out of the summertime, which is when you're supposed to get them looks that you need because the coaches are out during that period, and they're
especially back then.
Back then they're not at high school games like they used to be. That's old school. So, but we didn't get those offers that we thought he should coming back into a senior year. And so he after the season, he got on the unsigned senior team with Stacy over there at DJ 5, I believe.
Shout out to Stacy.
Shout out to Stacy. So Stacy and him, they played on the unsigned senior team. And one day he played in front of Nate Oates. Nate Oates had just got the job at Buffalo.
Okay, and tell for the fans who know Nate Oates.
Right, Nate Oates is now the head coach at Alabama.
Yes, sir.
And so great guy. And so he saw CJ in one of those unsigned senior games.
Okay.
And he immediately wanted CJ to come up for a visit. So CJ went up to Buffalo, liked what he saw, and committed. And that's how CJ got to Buffalo. But unsigned, under the radar.
That's what we're going to check.
And then he go up there and become the all-time leading scorer for the University of Buffalo.
And take him to the NCAA tournament?
Right, and take him to the deep. That's when they make Sweet 16.
That's how Nate Oates got there?
Yeah, and that's how he got to the Alabama. That's how he got the bag.
That's how he got that.
But CJ them. Yeah, so CJ them, that was that team right there. And then CJ went overseas after he has some pro tryouts for the NBA. He's now married and over a couple of kids, and he's overseas making great money. And so I didn't want to stop the coach, but I just want to tell this story because we always like to inspire the kids. Let them know that you ain't always got to be top 50. You may not be seen
He played in a, like I said, great program, historical program. Just put guys lead so people know about South Oak Cliff, what have you. Like I say, play with a great AAU organization, unsigned team, and still really get the look. So sometimes, just to let the fans and viewers know, sometimes college coaches, whatever reason, they got 1,000 coaches on the staff. Sometimes they miss out. They miss out on kids. A guy that was a pro from the Dallas area, you would think that somebody would have grabbed him. Not knocking other schools in this area, what have you. But y'all got
other schools. I called. No, I'm not gonna put them on blast.
We ain't gonna put them on blast, Coach. We ain't gonna put people.
But I called local D1s.
That's what I'm referring to. Yeah,
and said you need to come and see this kid. He can play, and they didn't. And then he gets out of here and go do that. You know, but that's neither here nor there. It worked out for the best. Everything worked for the best.
Who else was
So C.J. Massenberg, Keidron Johnson, Keedy signed with St. Peter's University out of South Oak Cliff. He ended his career at West Virginia with Bob Huggins, and so had a hell of a career in the Big 12 over there. And then now Keidron, he's overseas. So CJ is overseas right now. Keedy is overseas right now, and they still playing. James Harrison's overseas right now. So they playing. They making money.
And life's good over there when you play at the top level.
Life is good.
Seriously, it is, man.
Life is good.
At the top level.
So some of the football guys I had that played collegiately on the football level. Frankie Solomon. Okay. Frankie Solomon ended up making it to the league. Daniel Polk, like I said a while ago, he ended up tried with the Cowboys. Jacquees Smith had a hell of an NFL career. Jacquees is a big-time college coach right now. And so Lindy Holmes. Lindy was a major two-sport sports star. He was serious. So he could have signed either basketball or football, and he chose football. University of Oklahoma. Yes, sir. Ended up playing professionally, Washington Redskins and stuff like that. So yeah, those guys, it's pretty serious. David Fisher, another guy.
Fish, man.
Yeah, Fish, New Mexico State, and then he ended up overseas. He made some change over there, overseas.
I will stop you again if you don't mind about tell a story about Fish. Just tell you what type of guy he is, ultimate team guy he is. I remember this like it was yesterday because I think I was covering one of the games and I talked about that. I remember when Darrell came in as a freshman. Y'all had got Darrell off the shade as a freshman. I already had Fish. Fish, you know what I'm saying, was the man, whatever starting, what have you like this.
At 03 team.
There you go. My boy Shady come in. What I'm telling folks, man, about how you got to sacrifice for team and it's about whatever. Fish was the man. What had you? Fish was tripping. And this one came about. We had a conversation. I'm talking to Fish. I'm like, Fish, what's up, man? Whatever. Fish. I know y'all had a conversation. Fish. You know what I'm saying? Without an attitude, whatever, goes from not starting, coming off the bench, six man, one of the best pilot players in the state. Already got his offer scholarships. People looking at him, whatever. He's willing to come off the bench, so y'all guys can win the state championship because you felt that was the best thing to do, for him, to come off the bench. And so I don't know what was said behind closed door, but I'm saying, but with talking with him, what have you, he seemed like, he definitely was, on board for that. It wasn't a problem. Because when he told me, he said, Coach, he said, man, I ain't tripping, Coach. He said, we gonna win state. He said, Coach, man, everybody know what I can do, Coach. He said, man, he's out good, man. He said, man, he talking about shit. He said, let me young get it, man. He said, let the young get it. He good. Now I don't know how much it is, Coach.
So you want me to tell you a real story now?
The real story. This BS cover. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me tell you a real story. And it's a good story.
Okay.
But this is what that was. Let's say what that was.
Okay.
So I'm a disciplinarian, right?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's consequences for unwanted behavior.
Yeah, let's just say that. Yeah.
So Fish got in some trouble.
Oh, okay.
One of the classes or whatever, wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. And so his punishment, you're not starting, no, because you're not finna put us in this position. You're not doing what you're supposed to do in this classroom, endangering us of not having you.
Oh, gotcha.
You understand? Because if you're gonna make these choices, it's a good chance we may not have you for some games. So since we're not having you for some games, let me take you out of the starting lineup.
Since it seems like you ain't want to try to correct
right.
it. So
let me take you out the starting lineup. He suspended a game or two for that.
Okay.
And then I moved the youngster into the starting spot. Shady was a freshman, so we moved him in there. And so eventually David take care of his business. He make the correction. He does what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
And so when he does what he's supposed to do, I go to David and I say, well, we're gonna move you back into the starting lineup, and you did what you're supposed to do. This how mature and mentally locked in that he was.
Okay, Coach.
He said, Coach, if you don't mind, he said, I would like to come off the bench. He said, this is what I learned from coming off the bench those games that I couldn't start and I had to sit. He said, what I did is I looked at the flow of the game. He said, I looked at the flow of the game, and so when I did sub in, I took advantage of every weakness I saw, I took advantage of the fact that the guys were a little bit wore down, the guys are starters on the other team, and I could run a little bit fast because he was a runner.
Oh yeah,
he ran the floor,
yes,
and he got a lot of buckets like that. He would just simply beat you down the floor. And so by him moving to the bench, this is what happened. His point production went up, and his rebounds went up. He finished the season with a double-double. We ended up making it to the state, and he ended up making All-State. Coming off the bench. Coming off the bench.
Viewers.
And so that's that right there, that was so mature, and so he had so much vision that even taught me something as a coach a lot of times. And so, like I said, it's not all about starting all the time. Sometimes it's the mentality you have when you start or don't start.
Oh, okay.
You don't sit on the bench pouting. You don't sit on the bench, somebody doing me wrong. You sit on the bench and be productive. He was productive. He watched the game and looked at every single weakness that was going on out there, and he exploited it.
He exploited it, coach.
He exploited it to a major fact. And I'm telling you, like I said again, one day when we had the snowstorm, those games that was back to back to back to back, he was a major factor why we got out of there. Now Chris went off, but David was a consistent killer.
Because he had that win. He
win everything. And like I said again, he just come in and do so much damage so quickly. You know, this kid right here, he averaged like 12, 13 rebounds a game with 16, 17 a game.
High school guys.
High school. And then he going to get you about 3 or 4 steals. With a couple of blocks.
With some blocks.
Because he gonna beat your shit. He gonna throw that right on out of there. And so that's what he did. So no, Fish is that guy. That's my dude right there. And I had known Fish since he was a little big kid and grew up in my mom's community center. And so big shout out to David Fisher.
Well, okay, because keep on going, Coach. But
those are the kids that did both went on collegiate and played professional. But there's so many other kids, standout kids, you know, that I'm not gonna start naming.
Okay.
But I could. But those are the kids that we're not most proud of that had the opportunity to do both, because the list is just so extensive. And we get to calling names. Like I said again, I'm gonna leave somebody off.
And somebody gonna see get on you. Don't get Coach Baines in trouble, y'all. Don't go Coach Baines in trouble.
No, it's just so many, man. It's just I'm looking at this list now. It just golly. I'm gonna just say some names: Jarrell Hastings, Alan Walker, Ramel Reese's, Big Mike Wynn. Shout out to Big Mike. Julius Hurd. Julius Hurd. Juju has a good bucket. Juju was a bucket. Ronnie Smith. When you say Juju, you got to say Ronnie. Because them two dudes right there, Ed Robinson. Ed Robinson still get buckets in the men league. He's still killing it, and to let you know. Ed Robinson, Ronnie Morgan. Fred Gibson. Fred Gibson got 3 championship rings. You know, a lot of people don't know that. He was on 3 of those teams. So he started all 3. So the 05, 06, 07, Fred was a point guard. So he got 3 rings. So that's his bragging moment when they all get together.
He goes, I
got 3
rings.
Yeah, I got 3. You know, Bobo got 3 though too. So Bobo can sit in there with that same, you know, argument.
Same table.
Michael Beard was a bucket.
I remember Mike.
Ty Shaw, state MVP at the 08 game. You know, came back from 7 season, came back from 11 points down with 4 minutes left. You know, that was Ty Shaw. Brandon Jones, he was on that team. Sebo,
man.
Yeah, Sebo was serious.
Sebo, man.
Yeah, Sebo was serious. That dude right there, as far as he was Kyrie before Kyrie hit the scene, because he can handle that ball. You know, and he went on down to Southern, had a hell of a career down. He started 4 years at Southern. As a freshman,
won them their last SWAC championship.
Right, and went to the tournament. He took something to the tournament twice.
Twice, coach. Coach.
No, Sebo was that dude right there.
Yes, he was. Coach.
Bradley Umora. Bradley was one of the best undersized posts that I ever coached. The tallest, and he was on Sebo's damn team. The tallest guy they had, Bradley was the tallest guy. He played the post for us. Bradley was 6'3", 6'4".
But he played like about 6'7".
Yeah, and that
long wingspan.
He got the long arms, but he played. He had a hell of a career here. That team actually lost to Kimball. We lost to Kimball in the regional finals.
Okay.
We met, but that team was close. But we were undersized. You talking about getting the most out of a team? That team excelled. and we got the most out of what we had. That's like I said again. Like I said, I just on the side. Mr. Dawson, he was another guy. A point guard that was a hell of a point guard for us. Frank Byers.
Oh yeah, Frank Byers.
Yeah, Frank right there. Frank and Orlando was the valedictorian and salutatorian. Frank was a valedictorian. Orlando was smart, intelligent guy. IQ off the chains. Frank went on the A&M.
Yes, sir.
Played on that A&M team.
Yes, sir.
All right, with Armand. Remember Armand from Madison? He played on that team with them. So yeah, Frank could play. J.F. Thomas. J.F. Thomas was serious deal. He was another basketball guy. Okay. More basketball than football, but he excelled in both. Orlando King, I've just mentioned Orlando. Kedron Johnson, like we mentioned him. KO, Big KO. KO held it down the whole time he's here, all 4 years on the varsity.
Yes, sir.
So Big KO, shout out to KO.
Most of folks, hey, great kid and all those for the intelligent, man.
And family. Man, I'm telling you, man, the Owens family, was perhaps the best family that I've ever dealt with.
Wow.
Coming through South Oak Cliff.
Okay.
I mean, Dad, Sydney, and Mom, Carrie, them, man, those are some great people.
Okay.
I'm just talking about people. Forget sports.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. And
they trusted us. They're South Oak Cliff grass. They trusted us with their son, and I appreciate them for that. But it's real stand-up family. No. One of the best families. Them the kind of families you enjoy working with.
Okay. Make that wild coach.
Yeah. That was always available to help support the program in any type of way. If it was driving kids to a game, picking kids up, feeding kids and stuff like that, they did the whole 9 yards. Okay. Good Christian people. Yeah. And then Antonio Patterson.
Yeah.
Just start smiling when you say Antonio, you talking about a ton of talent right there, man.
Talking about, he was by me, what's the kid? He was by me after Edwards.
Yeah. It's a smaller Anthony Edwards right now. Yeah. He's a Tougaloo right now down there playing, having to stand out. Then he's in the portal. Shout out if you need a hell of a player, go down there and get Antonio Patterson. I'm telling you, Patterson is a serious dude. Right there, about around 6'4", 6'5". I actually seen him about a week or two ago. He was up here working out because they're out of school right now. But he looks great body wise. He's in that weight room. You used to have to beg him to get in the weight room. Okay. Not no more. Yeah, I said, I beg you come in here now. Yeah, but he's had a hell of a career down there too, and so doing a great job. But Antonio Patterson, he was an undersized. He played the 4-5 for us, but Antonio is a 3. Yeah, he's a 3 because he could shoot the 3 and he can handle it. Dan can defend, and he athletic as all hell.
Yes, sir.
KP, can't forget that KP. KP is in the portal right now. He signed with Fresno, and so Fullerton. I'm saying Cal State Fullerton. My bad. But it's Cal State Fullerton. So KP was a bucket, and you talking about a dog. KP is a dog. He is a dog.
Oh yeah.
So he's in the portal right now, trying to move around. And then little Jay Miller. Jay Miller, he's in California right now. He's playing up there. Yeah, I just finished his first year. He's having a hell of a job. But those are some of the names. It's a lot more, Kendrick Jonathan, I mean, that kid right there was a walking bucket when we had him. There's so many kids that could basically play. I've just been blessed. Big time. But
something that you always said, Coach, that on the last interview, Coach, man, shoot, if my ex is better than your ex, then most likely you got to get some exes, Coach.
There's the exes, so you better get some exes and some O's, then we go play. But that's one thing. Dallas area coaches, they do a good job. You gotta have some kids. Gotta have some kids.
Well, hey, for the viewers tuning in, man, as you can tell, we're very, very excited here, man. Me and Coach, we just going down memory lane, really, man. Me and Coach Bays, retired head coach, boys basketball coach, athletic director at South Oak Cliff High School, just going over some of the great players that he coached that played, collegiately or professionally. Coach, next question, Coach. I'm definitely gonna have you, man. You might not be able to go to the barbershop, man.
Drink some water.
Go nowhere on this one, man, because you're gonna have somebody. Your players everywhere. They go just like mine. They'll stop. Oh man, what's up with that, Coach? What's up with that? But Coach, give us your top 20 players that you coached as the head coach at South Oak Cliff. Any position, Coach. Give me 20, man.
You know what? And this question will get you in trouble. So.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly. But I tried to be diplomatic in it.
Okay.
And so this is what I did. I broke it down by position. Now I couldn't have stopped at 20. I had to go 25.
That's fine.
All right. So I'm gonna give you those. And like I said again, it could be some debate on who goes on the list, who goes on. But you asked me for my list.
Your list, coach.
So
you the coach.
So we'll start with point guards. Okay. Point guards. I put 6 of them. The top 6 guards that I work with was Kedron, Keedy, of course, Fred, Sebo, Alan Walker. Shout out to Alan. Alan's now the head coach at Carson County High School.
Great job too.
Doing a great job. Had a hell of a career down at East Texas State, the Texas A&M Commerce. You know.
Yeah, that's why Williams College. I graduated from Williams College. A&M Commerce. I was there now. East Texas A&M. Yeah, man.
Alan had a hell of a career down there. Set some records down there. Frank Byers, of course. You know, great IQ. Frank IQ was coach level.
Coach, he was coach. He was coach.
He had coach level. He learned our playbook just as well as the coaching staff.
So I
could pretty much let Frank go, and he get the ball to where he needed to go. And then of course Jaden Miller. So Jaden's those are the top guards, point guards. My shooting guards, we start with CJ Massenberg. Got to start with CJ. CJ will walk in bucket. You know, he could get. Obviously, you go to University of Buffalo and set the scoring record. So there's no debate on that.
To the tournament.
Yeah.
He be in the tournament.
There's no debate on that. Michael Berry, he was a bucket for us. And he could defend. Mike played both ends of the floor. High motor.
I was just about high motor. Coach.
Yeah, high motor, and he led us on that 2007 state championship team. Keith Richard, KP, I just mentioned KP. He was a walking bucket. You know, you give him the ball, call ISO for him, get him to some space. He'll go get you a bucket. Get to the free throw line. And all these kids, all these 2 guards could get to the free throw line. You know, that's why you're gonna have to foul them or they're gonna score. And so, and then I had 3 combo guards, 3 more kids that could actually play the 1, but they were scorers. Okay. So they was heavy combo guards. So a lot of times I slid them over to the 2 spot. Okay. And that was Ty Shaw, Ronnie Smith, and Ed Robinson. All right, those guys could play both positions, but they could score the basketball. Ty Shaw ended up winning the state tournament MVP in 2008. All right, and Ed was on those teams in those 2003, 2004 teams. One make the state, one we fell short. So we really, and Ronnie Smith, like I said, Ronnie Smith was Ronnie Smith was probably the quickest guard with the basketball that I coached.
I said, look, Jalen was pretty fast, coach.
Now Ronnie could do this, running tight and all that. But Ronnie, he could dribble the ball like we would be running lines, running suicides or whatever. And a lot of times I have my point guards, they have to dribble the ball when they're doing that suicide. Ronnie could beat you running with the ball and you didn't have the ball.
Get out of here, coach.
He'd be most of them. He'd be first dribbling.
Yeah.
And they running without a ball.
Yeah, you had some athletes, coach, fast guys.
Yeah, running with that guy. And you know, he averaged like 20-some points for us, you know, and then unfortunately he was on that team when we make it to the regionals in 01. And we fell short, and then 02 we run into Lincoln, the 40-0 team. He was on those teams. So we never did get him on that big stage down at state because of those, but he was a walking bucket. Then to small forward, I could only come up with 3. All right, so that helped the list a little bit. Start out with Jarrell Hastings. Jarrell Hastings was the ultimate 3.
Yes, sir, coach.
He could defend, he could score, he could handle. So he could do it all.
What they call now, he would be what we call nowadays a two-way player.
Yeah, he'd be a two-way player.
He's a great two-way player.
I mean, motor, high motor.
3D, two-way player.
Yeah, so he was the ultimate 3. He was 6'5", 6'6". You know, he signed with University of Albany right out of high school. Ended up going to finish his career at Stephen F. Austin. So Jarrell Hastings, I had started with him. Had started then Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones, 6'6", long, athletic, thin like a broom, and could get up and down the floor. And he was so athletic, we just throw the ball near the rim. Brandon is going to get it. And so Brandon was on the 07, 08 team. He got 2 state championships, and we ended up winning with that. So Brandon ultimate, just like I said, and he could do both ends, block shots and all that kind of stuff. So he could run. And then just the one more of Antonio Patterson.
Oh yeah.
So definitely Antonio Patterson, your ultimate, your small forward. It's a no-brainer. Could shoot the 3, He could run the floor, you know, get a bucket.
I love the way he used to draw fast.
Yeah, and he used to get to that free throw line.
He knew how to do it, Coach. Like he had the IQ to know how to.
He had an old man game.
Didn't he, Coach? Slow.
Yeah, and he'll pick his spots, and like I said, he's killing on the collegiate level right now with that same type of, you know, approach to the game. You know, so those are my 3 small forwards, power forwards. Now, a lot of these I played at center sometime, but really they power forward, so I put them all in the same group. Now check this group out. It's gonna
be a hard list, Coach.
Yeah, I know.
That 4-5 for you because you had some good ones.
Obviously, Darrell and Kevin.
Oh yeah.
They both power forwards, ultimate power forwards. Yes. All right. Darrell more so because he could step out and also guard guards. All right. So that was a really big thing. David Fisher, power forward. You know, I ain't got to say no more about David. Julius Hurd.
Yes, sir.
Julius Third, the same team with running him, or 01, 02 then team that made the state. He made an all-state actually. All right. Julius Hurd, and then Ronnie Morgan.
Ronnie Morgan. Big brother.
Boy, that was a grown man.
Oh, I say, Coach, if we didn't know his folks, we'd have to check his birth certificate.
Dude, Ronnie was a grown man.
He played grown.
Yeah, he played here. Unfortunately, we just got him 1 year. He transferred up from DeSoto senior year. But we took him, and like I said, we was coming off the 05 championship. And then 06, then Ronnie come over this area, move over here. So we get him 1 year playing with Darrell. So I had him at the power forward, him at the center, and put Darrell at the 4. That was it. It was over with then.
Coach,
you know.
Coach, I'm just gonna talk about the squad because because folks still today talk about the teams. Coach, we talk about the teams. We just laugh about, Coach, that. Matter of fact, when I bump into Kevin and some of the guys and talk with them, and we laugh about this, Coach. Sometimes they were so athletic, it was so hard to keep off the offensive glass, Coach, that sometimes they used to tell us, Coach, like Bobo and Kevin and some of the guys where we see them, they laugh at some of the young fellas talking about, yeah, man, they don't pass me the ball, whatever. Man, they say, you know what? We want to trip. We like, man, shoot that broke stuff, whatever. Yeah. We gonna get off the glass, whatever. We gonna get the offensive rebound. And sometimes they told us that was y'all actual offense. Y'all like, hey, we just gonna get a shot around the basket. You know, we won't take a whole bunch of crazy threes. Coach May say, drive to the basket. We go shoot in the paint. Yeah. We ain't worried about it because can't nobody box y'all out, man.
Right. And in fact, the play for David Fisher.
Okay.
The play for David, because remember, he's an exceptional rebounder.
Ooh, Coach,
he's outstanding.
He knew he had a knack for the ball, and then he had the ability to.
And so David will oftentimes pull Chris to the side, and pull Edna to the side, and get mad at him sometimes. Shoot the ball. He would make them shoot. So he could board.
So I get the board.
Because see, we don't have no set play, or he didn't want no set play. We had him, but he didn't want no set play when we threw him the ball. Yeah. He wanted them to shoot so he can get the positioning and then get the rebound.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And that's what he would do. Yeah. So, you know, we had guys, but David Fisher was one of those guys, and it's like Ronnie Morgan was a grown man. And he would do the same. And anything around the bucket that's close, they're gonna dunk it. You know, so these was the type of guys that we was working with. So it wasn't so much as we running a lot of stuff to them or through them. We would actually be heavy guard oriented as far as attacking and shooting, and let them battle down there because you couldn't box them out. You can't box them out. You know, they getting all of that. All of that. So that situation. And center, the last spot, we got Bobo. We start with Bobo, true center.
No, he's true. Right.
He's true center. He went to UCLA, true center. Yeah. James Harrison, true center. He was on that 15 team with Frank now. All right, true center. He battled Eli and Nate. Down there when we played them for that area quarterfinal game to go to the regionals. But James was down there battling them by himself. Well, him here in Orlando. Orlando was undersized, but James, true center. Mike Wynn. Yeah. Mike Wynn was one of the meanest. Mike was one of the meanest guys, and he was undersized. He was about 6'5", 6'6", but he was a true center because he had those long arms, and like I said, he was athletic. I remember this. I think it was Bosch's junior year. Mike dunked him, got him good too. but got him good too. And Mike was aggressive, and he'll talk noise to you because he was one of my hood kids. He's straight hood. So yeah, grew up over there in the Cummins area, straight, and he was so intimidating like that. And of course, you know, they got back out and stuff. Next year they got us good too. But yeah, Mike will get you if he could dunk you. You finna get dunked.
You about to get dunked?
Yeah. He was a man.
He ain't gonna tell you about it.
You finna know. You finna know quick. You know, with all of it, with the stuttering. He gonna stutter and he gonna tell you.
But you understand what you just said.
You sure did. And then we got KO, Kylan, true center. Defense player of the year a couple of times in the district during his career. Box shots. So Kylan was real good for us. And then Sylvester Spicer. So those are true fives, and so that's how I broke it down. And I could put other kids, but putting those top kids. So that was the heart of my era, what we were doing. Yeah. So that wasn't too hard for me.
Yeah, they weren't too hard for you. And guys, you know what? Coach Mays, man, that's the athletic director coming out of a man that being a good diplomat, good politician, because I best with him because he knows how now if somebody say something, he's going to say, no, I broke it down by the position.
Yeah, position.
Hey, you didn't follow it, say, hey. And then like you said, some of them guys.
And not saying you wasn't good.
No, but yeah. But then how you get folks is going to be this, because some of these guys, like you said, it's just a no-brainer. Like the services like Bobo, Bobo at 5, he got to be on this. The real at the 4 got to be on. It's just certain guys, it's like, Franco, Alan Walker being at the point. Some certain guys just, got to come on.
Right. So because there's so many you can do. Hell, I could have easily added Kenneth Hall on that list for 7. Play with it because Buddy held it down for us. Guys, Kendrick Johnson, he could have easily been on that shooting guard list. Like I said again, but we just had so many guys, just so many.
But hey, as you can tell, guys, man, on TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner, man, I'm live and direct, man, here at South Oak Cliff High School in Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff, Texas, to be exact, man. As I said on one of my live videos, man, people understand SOC, man. A success over circumstance, man. That's what I mean, man. Meaning they don't make excuses around here. Shout out to Coach Todd. Shout out to my main man, the principal here. Hey, they do a good job of not letting these guys make excuses, man.
No.
Hey, let's get it done, baby. Let's get it done.
You bet.
Well, Coach, man, I got you a little bit of trouble, Coach, but hey, this right here, Coach. now we're about to get some folks mad, Coach. Coach, give us your all-time starting 5 lineup as the head coach at SOC. What's your all-time starting 5? Who you point to? However you want to break that?
Okay. When you sent this list, I said I'm gonna have to be diplomatic again. I'm gonna have to split it.
Coach, you can't, Coach. And I asked Nick the same question. Shout out to Coach Smith over at Kimball. That I'd say it's okay, Coach. So if you got to go 10, you got to have a bench. That's fine, Coach. So I will mention it. That's fine.
I got you. So what I did, I broke it down. I broke it to my tenure here from '99 to present, and then I broke it down from before my time, 1999, all the way back.
Okay.
And so I broke it like that. And so this is a list. So starting with the 70s. I would Cullen Mayfield / Deion Hunter. You can close your eyes and pick, and you can still be okay. Cullen Mayfield on the first state championship team, 1977. All right. Deion Hunter, one of the great guards of the '80s, early '80s. He ended up following Coach Gales to University of North Texas.
Okay.
Deion Hunter he's the guy, and still run a great organization now, Hoop Hunters. So he's out of Denton.
Okay.
And so if you close your eyes, you can pick one of those. Now this one, David Burns is the next one. 2 guard. I got two names for 2 guard. David Burns, he was on that first state championship team in 1977. Rest in peace, David just passed.
Okay.
All right. So David played here. He played at Navarro, and then he went on to St. Louis University.
Okay.
Finished career there, graduated, and then he went to the pros. David went to the pros.
Okay.
This dude had one of the highest verticals at that time. David vertical was like 42, 43-inch vertical. All right, he was about he was like 6'2", 6'3" guard. and he could shoot the three. Back then they didn't have a three, but David had that behind the head man right there.
Old school,
that battery, and you know, so he was one of the first standout two guards that actually came out of the city.
Okay.
All right, to make it to that next level. So David Burns, and then the other one that predates David Burns back in '74 was a kid by the name of Larry Joe Harris. Larry Joe Harris was the real deal. He was one of the first great guards. In fact, a lot of people say, along with him and James Snake Williams, was two of the first great guards that came out of South Oak Cliff. South Oak Cliff has been known for guards throughout the years. All right, not so much as bigs, even though we've had bigs, but we've been heavily guarded as far as over here. So Larry Joe Harris, David Burns, pick one at the two. Okay. All right, Larry was more of a combo too.
Okay.
All right, and then at the three, take your pick again. Holly Bonner on that '92 team with Batu that won the state. Coach Dyer was the coach. So Holly Bonner played the three.
Okay.
All right. Batty was a five on that team right there. But he won a state championship. Unfortunately, Holly's passed now due to sickness. But he was a great, and he was like 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". He was long. He could handle. Just by remind you of Mac Daniels, they played for Minnesota. That type of body style, slam and everything, could defend and score. Holly Bunner was that dude. And eventually signed with University of Tulsa. He played up there, University of Tulsa. So he was another. And Rodney Samuel. Rodney Samuel is another great three guard. I call him a three guard. He 3'4". Rodney good size, 6'3", 6'4", and he made All-State. And he was on those 80 teams, 80, 86, 87, 88, around there. Okay. And so they had great teams and everything like that. Coach Love, very familiar, Rodney Samuel. So shout out to Rodney. Rodney's DPD. He's a Dallas Police Department. So shout out, Rodney.
Great things, man.
At the fourth spot, I only have one name, and I think everybody agreed, Pontus Wilson. Pontus Wilson was a standout guy, 81, 82 teams. Played the four. He was long, slim. Chris Bosh. Before Chris Bosh.
Before Chris Bosh.
That's correct. That's Pontus Wilson. Same skill set. Okay. Block shots, run the floor, score the ball, stuff like that. So Pontus was it. Put him at the four, no brainer. All right. And then the last one, Ronnie Morgan, which is Ronnie's dad. Ronnie Morgan, the second, because the dad is the first. So it's a lot of Ronnie Morgan.
I know the second. I know the dad.
But dad made All-State. Dad was a beast. He was same way he was, same way the sons turned out to be. Okay. Bobo and Ronnie turned out like dogs. Yeah. I mean, dogs. You when you played them, you knew you played. And then you took a beating.
They would be physical, just to be physical.
They coming.
They
coming, and it ain't no punk in there. Nobody, not the daddy, the granddaddy, the whole family. Whole family coming. And so Ronnie Morgan, dad, got to put him on those teams right there. All-State guy again. All-State guy again. He followed Coach Jimmy Gales to North Texas. So he's full athletic scholarship to North Texas.
I heard in the record books and stuff like that.
Yeah. He's on the wall. His picture's on the wall on there. Yeah. No, he was the real deal. Okay. Ronnie Morgan was the deal. Shout out, Ronnie. Yeah. And then the other one I slashed, Derek Batty. Batty was on that 92 team. He was the five. And he really came on strong at the end of his career. You know, and so and he eventually signed with Temple. Signed with the University, Temple University, and then he also played professionally also. So he was getting it. He was a major force. But hey,
shout out for the folks that don't understand, man. Derek Batty, man, ultimate team guy, ultimate play your role guy.
Play with Chris Dyer and John Chain.
Yes.
So those two guys.
Hey man, but think about him. Understood his role, man. Big body, strong, grown man. But hey, he gonna understand his role. He go rebound, play defense, and set them doggone screens, man.
Yeah.
You set the head of screens.
He gonna do all the little things that help you win. That's very, very important.
Don't show up on the
Draymond Green.
But hey, we still rocking and rolling, man, with my main man, Coach James Mays, with TaylorMade Hoops Coaches Corner. We just got through, man. I got Coach Mays, probably gonna have him in the hot seat, man. He ain't gonna be able to go go nowhere around Oak Cliff or the city of Dallas no more, man. He gave out his all-time starting lineup at South Oak Cliff High School. Great list, man. As Coach was saying, with the other list, man, it's always kind of hard because over here, man, they been blessed. Been blessed to have a lot of good players, a lot of good people in the community to support things of that sort, man. A lot of good things over at soccer, man. But Coach, man, we're gonna transition, man, into a little different lane. So let me ask this, Coach. We're gonna talk a little bit about your career. And I know you're the type of guy, Coach, don't live with no regrets, man. You live each day to the fullest, man. But let me ask this. But Coach, if you could change or do anything differently in your journey in coaching career, what would it be and why?
Well, that's pretty easy for me. I would find a way to spend more time with my kids.
Okay.
Because being a single dad, the first of my career, and then like I said, obviously later on being married, I missed a lot.
Yeah.
You know, with my kids. And like I said again, I wish I could have structured, or I would structure things a lot more different to try to spend more time with them. Because at the end of the day, all of this goes away.
Oh yeah, Coach.
And the only thing that you have left is family, you know, and starting with kids or significant others, wives, husbands, because it goes both ways. But I would have found a way to spend more time with my kids. Even, you know, you got your son down here doing the video. That's quality time, you know. So I wish I could have found a more better way, because what a lot of people don't realize, it's a lot of sacrifices in the business of coaching that we are in, this coaching fraternity, and we sacrifice a lot, and a lot of things that a lot of times we sacrifice time with our families. And like I said again, a lot of situations where we just can't be there. You know, because we're grinding, we're working, or we're chasing. But I wish I could have spent more time with my family, my two sons and my daughter. A lot of times, you know, I did take them on the road, those games, and they celebrated those big moments, state championships and stuff like that. But just the daily grind of not getting home early, you know, missing a performance, you know, missing a recital, you know, that kind of stuff, because you can't replace that. But once those moments are gone, those moments are gone.
They don't come back.
And no, they don't come back. And so, you know, and you're either present or you're not. And a lot of times as coaches, to be quite honest and transparent, a lot of times as coaches, we're not present. You know, and that thing like that is something that I think about.
And you know what, Coach, it's because, like you say, Coach, man, that's why I guess we wear that coach as a badge of honor, because people don't know what goes into that, because, like you say, you spend so much time pouring into other people's kids that you don't have time to pour into your own kids. Yeah, and that's the word. It's a sacrifice. And we do sacrifice. That's why a lot of times when parents of our players and stuff like that, they get to playing in, and players you don't realize the sacrifice I've been on my own kids
that we making. We've been up here for your kid all day long, and something simple as when we get back from a game, can you pick them up on time?
Yeah.
I got to get back home to my kids and try to catch them before they go to bed, go to sleep. But you out gallivanting around somewhere at the club or whatever, and we sitting up here at the school waiting on you to come pick up your kid. Or if it gets to the point, they don't even have a ride. So now we have to, which we do as coaches, because we signed up for this type of stuff. But that type of thing, it takes away from the quality family time, getting back home to your wife, getting back home to your husband, getting back home to your kids. That takes time. And a lot of times what we sacrifice as coaches, we sacrifice our families. And I'm guilty of that.
We both
I'm guilty of that. You know, and that's one thing that I wish I could done some things different. You know, just being totally honest. You know, it's like I said, I first marriage, this is my second marriage, my current marriage. It's my second marriage. I got a divorce the first time, and a large part, not solely because of coaching, because you know, a lot of it was on my part, you know, but a lot of time was spent coaching when I should have been at home as a young husband, young father. I should have been at home, but I'm not, and that causes friction. to so much to the point that you know, a lot of marriages don't work. A lot of coaches, we on our second wives.
You got to make a choice.
You know, second husbands or whatever, you know, for the female on that side. But yeah, so people don't realize the sacrifice that we've made. You know, it's a huge sacrifice. That's why now when I say I'm done, I can stand on that, you know, because like I said, now, you know, I'm on the back half of my life, you know, on the back half. So I need to spend a lot of time with as much as my family, with my kids, quality times, you know. That's
with your schedule, priorities, family.
Yeah, not to go jump from the pot to the frying pan back into something. You know, that's why I say coaching, you know, it's pretty much the end for me, because I know the time and sacrifice that it's gonna take to do that, and I'm not willing to pay that anymore.
No more.
You know, no more. I didn't pay it enough. So, and I've enjoyed myself, and I appreciate what the profession has given to me. But now it's time for me to prioritize and do some things that I need to do.
Well, hey guys, as you can tell, man, hey, we having a great time on TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner with my main man, Coach James Mays. As we talk now, retired. He proudly says that he stands on there, retired athletic director and head boys basketball coach at South Oak Cliff High School. Well, Coach, let me ask you this question here, Coach. We're gonna talk a little bit about some things going on in grassroots basketball. I know you're still gonna be connected as far as with that, but we're gonna talk about grassroots high school. You know, that whole realm. So, Coach, what are some of the great things you feel are going on at the grassroots level, Coach, as far as coaching, things that sort, culture, style of play? You know, what are some great things that you can say that some good things going on?
Well, the good thing is that obviously the first one is giving the kids an opportunity to play. That's a great thing.
That's a great thing, Coach.
And then also occupying a lot of them time instead of being a negative situation that they find themselves in. Basketball replaces that. Now they're over here doing something positive. So a lot of kids need that. Not all kids need it, because some of them in some good situations, but some of them need basketball to keep them away from trouble. And so I found that's good for that. So there's some good things in there that's going on. There's some things I don't like, but like I said, those two things, keeping the kids playing and keeping them occupied and out of bad situations, those are the good things. And then you have some good coaches around actually that actually do a good job, you know. But yeah, you know, so those are the good things.
Well, Coach, you kind of were kind of alluding to a little bit. What are some areas that you feel may need some improvement? Not necessarily bad, but you know, as a coach, we looking to improve the game.
Yeah.
So what are some things you think may need some improvement as far as that goes?
Well, obviously the training and the coaching of kids, the IQs of the kids and the basketball players nowadays is poor.
It is, Coach.
It is poor. They don't play enough pickup games, obviously, because the whole dynamics have changed about how you train and do things like that. They do more training in the gyms with cones and all this kind of with private trainers that
going to the park.
Instead of go to the park and you play. See, you can't tell me that you can't get as much from going to the park and play pickup the majority of the day, like kids used to.
We used to,
you know, used to. You know, of course, it's a different situation now with the safety issues and all that kind, and availability of courts and gyms and stuff like that. So we get it. But like I said again, you cannot develop an IQ just in the gym with cones and you're going through drills all day long. They're very skilled, but they don't have the knowledge. And see, those are things going to have to train. And then everybody don't need to be training kids.
No.
Okay. Everybody don't need to be training kids. I'm gonna just say it.
Yeah.
You know, the quality of coaching has diminished since AU, since I first got on the scene years ago to what it is now, because you got so many people hands in the pot that think they can do the job. And kudos to them for stepping up to the plate to try to get a team and try to keep kids occupied and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just not your lane. I'm not a chef. So I can't go down to the Del Frisco's and go in the kitchen just because I say I can cook a steak or I want to be in there cooking it and now I'm a chef. No, and like I said, some people look at our profession and especially like on the grassroots level, little league level, and they think they could do it. But it's because this is a science.
People don't realize
this is a science and a science of dealing with people, dealing with kids and dynamics of group dynamics. You got to understand that the psychology of dealing with an individual, that's a skill.
That's a
and
skill.
You have to be trained to do these type of things or around it a certain amount. And a lot of times you have people that jump into this game, jump into this profession, get some kids together, and next thing you know, kids are being handled wrong. Mentalities are horrible. You know, like I say, it's a lot of things. This has become, in a lot of instances, a money grab.
Oh yeah.
You should not have to go to an AAU tournament and pay $40, $50, $60, $70 a day
see your kid play.
To see a kid play.
You already paid your AAU fees.
You already paid your AAU fees. They done already pop you pretty good. Yeah. And then all of a sudden now, see, it's a money grab. See, people are trying to get rich, and they're really just pimping and using kids to make money. Because a lot of times, like I said, it's just becoming the training. You're gonna pay for that. You're gonna pay a premium for that. You're gonna pay a premium for the AAU games on the weekend. The prices are ridiculous. All right, and then you got your AAU fees. You got all of that is being poured into because we're chasing a dream. We're chasing a dream, and so it become a money grab, and I don't like that part of it. That is horrible. You know, because it just uses it. So back in the day, and I know you got facility fees you got to pay for.
We get it.
We get it. It's an expense to everything.
I get it, but
$40 a person?
Nah.
You know, and on top of that, they charge the team $300-$400 for entry fees.
For the entry fee, coach.
Now I get the entry fees. Yeah. You're gonna take care of your officials, and maybe you're gonna pay for your facility.
Yeah.
So you mean that door? You have to hit that hard on that door?
No, because half the time, let's be honest, coach. We've all been a part and had organizations. I know, when
I've run events here.
You run events here. And then, recipes with Jazz. I know you was involved in Urban DFW. So you understand tournament stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time, coach, but like your help and stuff, most of the time, those people that volunteer for you. You know what I'm saying? So that person that don't, you really not paying. If you are, you just kind of, maybe just out of goodness in your heart. But, hey, people that's, so I'm saying they be trying to tell us all these extra fees. Like,
no. See what the situation, and I've been on the other side, so I understand the expenses.
I know you do.
So I've been on the other side. All right, so I know what the expenses halfway look like, the official fees, you paying workers and things like that. I know what that looks like. All right, but what the deal is, a lot of these organizations and individuals are trying to make a living.
Oh, because a lot of them may not be employed.
Off of these kids in games. It never was designed for that. It never was designed. It was designed where you had your own job, you made your own money, and then your volunteer time.
Most time it came from people like you say that were gainfully employed. They had the time,
right?
They had a job because they was off on.
But then you got some kids, so you got some people. That's all they do. They don't even work.
That's my point. That's all they do.
The events. So they're making now. They're living off of the events, and they pass that expense on to the players, to the coaches, to the parents, to the community. And that expense, now we are paying for them as a lifestyle.
Now it makes sense, coach. Now it makes sense because it's a difference, coach, if this is not necessarily your job and you're truly in it for the kids. You're not really looking, we ain't really worried about the money for you.
Right.
You're more worried about the finished product, which is the kids. The kids get better.
Because at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about?
That's what it's supposed to be
about. That's what you said.
That's what we say.
But now it turns into, I care about the kids, to now I need to make a living off the kids. Come on now.
Yeah. So, and then another couple points you made, coach, as far as the kids and the IQ, they don't understand, coach, that, this coach, we woke up like summertime now. I'll be telling my son these old stories. He don't believe me. It's like, we woke up, coach. I grew up, Pleasant Grove. So we wake up, coach. Man, I'm going to Pleasant Oaks, going to the rec. Okay, going to Pleasant Oaks. Most of the time, shot to Val Rose. I stay right behind Spruce. The Val Rose had the gym open. About 10, 11 o'clock, I go up there, hoop them. Then we leave there. We might leave there. Coach, I was one of my older friends had a coach. Coach, we used to drive around looking for good games. Coach, I may come to Oak Cliff. Coach, I may go hoop at Redbird Rec or whatever. Or we may leave, go to Garland, go to Range or whatever. So, with the parks or whatever, Keys Park, what have you. So it was just different. But the reason being, to add to your point, the reason why IQ was high, because you had to learn how to play with people that you didn't know. You had to learn your role pretty fast. And if you went to a rec, coach, you knew most of the time you didn't want to lose. If you lose, you might not play them. You had to sit down 6-7 games. You know what that taught you how to make winning plays, because you didn't want to lose. Or if you were a younger kid and you were playing with the older cats that could play or what have you, like I grew up with the Rod Taylors, whatever, older men, whatever. So if I'm playing with Big Rob, Mayshow, and them, whatever, I'm a young cat or whatever. hey, I couldn't mess up. Or they either gonna get on me or they're not gonna pick me anymore. So I had to know how to space and how, hey, Rod working, hey, move out Rod way, get over there in that corner, coach, whatever. He may hit me or whatever. But kids don't understand, like you say, how to make winning plays because you're not practicing it. You can't get better going against no cones because cones can't bump the cone can't tell you bad pass. But bump,
to play this game, you got to play this game.
That's my point.
You got to play this game. So, it's too much training and emphasis on skill work and all this kind of stuff. Even the AAU games, because they just playing games and so they don't practice as much as they should. Practice, you do a lot of teaching, you do a lot of explaining, you do a lot of learning, stuff like that. And so they're not doing enough of that. They're just playing games. See, you can practice doing the wrong thing.
There you go, coach.
You can practice doing the wrong thing so much. And now we got a hole full of gym and teams with kids that are just so used to playing the wrong way, or they can tap in to play another way that they're being taught. And so it's a lot of things that's not right. Of course, in my opinion, our community, I'm talking about the Black community, we're our own worst enemies because we've created this. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you how we created this. See, back in the day, we had a safe environment. Okay. We had a safe environment where a kid could go to the park, where a kid could go all day to the gym, to the neighborhood rec and play all day. And you don't have to, a parent didn't have to worry about the safety of their kid.
The rec raised us, coach.
Right. And so what the deal was, as things started getting bad in our community with the shootings and the killings and our fighting and all that kind of stuff, parents were real leery about dropping kids off or allowing kids to go to a park to play all day, because now it's dangerous at the park. They shoot at the park. They're selling drugs at the park. All right, they're fighting at the park. So no, you can't go to the park. So now a kid can't go and just freely play like that all the time. And then all of a sudden, and then on the flip side, what happened to the community centers and the gyms and the recs and things like that? Now you have budget issues that's going on with the center. So where now a center would be open, say for instance, all the way to 10 o'clock at night. Now the community, the rec center have to close at 6. They have to close at 7 because of staffing, because of budget issues and things like that. Or they change the programming. And so now where they have free time in the open gym, now they may have a jazzercise class and pickleball or something now and then played in the gym. Now that gym is not available. So now it's no more free play. And so the saving grace was the high school coaches now, where they come in, where they open the gyms and have open gym play. But that cut down on the amount of time that normally for open gym where you could play anywhere. Now you're only limited to certain hours at the school or certain times of the year at the school. During the summer times, now we got the gyms open and things like that. But now when the school year is going, it's no open gym because now school has started. Now you got volleyball practice in there. All right, now you got basketball practice in the start, so it's no open gyms. And that whole dynamic, our community has changed. And so now we get a different brand of basketball than we normally were getting in the end. And so it hit urban areas the hardest because unfortunately, we had the most issues that was going on in our community. And so the things on the grassroots levels has definitely changed. And like I said, again, we just have to come up with new ways and solutions to address the situation. If not, the brand of basketball, it will forever be different.
Getting worse.
Be different.
Yeah. Right. And no, Coach, you brought up so many good points, Coach, man. And I must say before we go, man, I appreciate you, man. Always, Coach. Like I said, I think this one here is gonna be more better because, like you say, me and Coach. That's why I always look up to Coach Mays, man. We always look Coach. Like I say, is one of the most classiest, most professional guys you meet.
Appreciate it.
He want things to look good because he come from Old Street. Look good, and people feel good, look good. So you understand people. Unfortunately, are visual people. We're visual people. So, but my point is, man, I think this interview is much better as far as some of the optics and things we did. So I think this would be much great, man. But Coach, hey, I appreciate your time, Coach, man, on the Saturday, man. I know, like you say, you can spend time with your family, with your wife, your kids. Took time to spend with us, man.
Before signing out, let me send a shout out.
Go ahead, Coach.
Let me send a shout out to Coach Todd. Like I said, Coach Todd did a hell of a job, even though he's on the football side, I'm on the basketball side. I've grown to respect the grind that Coach Todd and his staff, they do. Those guys, like I said, they cut out of that Coach Samples, Emmett Jones, that type of cloth. And Coach Todd, they're probably the most detailed, intense, hard-working group that I've ever been around. And it's just been a pleasure just watching them work. And so I want to send a shout out to them and that whole group. I want to send a shout out to all former basketball players. It's a lot of guys I didn't name that I should have named. Alfredo Porter comes off the top of my head. Coach Lyndon Love, they put in a lot of work, you know. So I want to send a shout out to those guys right there. So, but it's been a pleasure working in this environment. It's been a pleasure working for Sock Nation. And I wish nothing but the best. The new coach coming in, Antoine Thompson from Stony Point, that's coming in. I think Antoine is going to do a great job. And if it's left up to me, I'm going to do whatever I can to make him successful. Okay. You know, help him in that endeavor. I think he's a great young coach that's coming up. Kind of remind me of the time that I came in. I was 33. I think Twan is around 33, 34. Mm-hmm. He's coming in, and I'm excited about it. And then a shout out to our new athletic director, James Davis, and that whole crew that's going to come in and take it to the next level. So whatever I can do to help, that's what I'm going to do. And then shout out to my pastor, Frederick Haynes, the third. Shout out to him. I forgot to shout him out last time. And also, yeah, most definitely. And Pastor Brian Carter, because we go over there to Concord as well. Yes, so I want to shout out both of those guys. Those guys, spiritually, they have held me down. As far as what I needed, you know, and if it wasn't for God and their guidance, none of this that I have accomplished, I wouldn't have accomplished none of it. Because like I said, it was time that in my life, I was at a low point, you know, especially after the divorce and going through all that kind of stuff. I was at a very low point, and my pastor, Frederick Haynes, through his leadership in Operation Black, that's the men group that I belong to at church when I first started. They held me down and got me back to a place mentally where I could focus and do what I needed to do. So I want to send a shout out to those two groups because, like I said again, I would be remiss not to. And so, appreciate you for coming in, doing what you're doing, and just exposing, trying to get the story out. Yeah, so Coach, I appreciate it. Coach. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. Much love.
And he's gonna get on me, man. Shout out to the principal, Willie Fred. Shout out to Willie Fred, man.
Shout out Doc. Shout out Doc,
man. Yeah, man. I'm laughing, messing with Doc. I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out the bag, man. I'm coming back to Sock, man. Go do a interview with Dr. Willie Fred, because most people know Coach Mays, know this is his background, former coach. He coached back in the day. So now the students
right.
And people are like, oh, Doc used to coach. So they just let you know, man, how old I am. I guess I've been around too long.
You've been around here. You've been around.
I know Willie Fred used to coach, man, over there at the Grove at Comstock. But I ain't gonna tell all this business. We're gonna save it. But Coach, man, no, seriously, Coach, I appreciate you. I know my son, he tired, he ready to roll, man. But
did a hell of a job.
Good job. Shout out to Landon Taylor, man. I want to get him in trouble if he got a little girl from all the girls. I can follow him. He's on IG, Twitter, all this stuff, whatever. I think it's just looking up Landon Taylor. That's him. All right. Hey, but once again, we're gonna go ahead and end this, man. Once again, we appreciate this coach, man. Love Sock, man. Get a shirt. Shout out to my boy Shady, man. Get the shirt again, man. Hey, I promise it's only probably about 5 people that probably still got the shirt. Probably me, you.
Most definitely.
Got that.
I did tell you, Darrell is he's an executive with the Nuggets, right?
Yes.
So
yes. I know he moved up. Cause I know he was player development. He was doing player development.
Yeah,
he got a promotion. Now
he's in front office. He's in front office.
Okay.
Big time.
So shout out to my man Shady, and I'm gonna leave with this, man. Shady, great dude. I mean, we played at Memphis, man. Me and my wife just love going to Memphis. What have you, man? Whenever you go to Shady, go to Memphis, man. We holler at Shady, man. Shady, man. Show us love, man. What have you? Shady, good dude, man. Shady, good dude, man.
Great
Coach, man. Appreciate your time, Coach, man. Hey, once again, TaylorMade Hoops. We out.